This is the athletic budget for the 2016-2017 school year. The items and equipment that I have selected should help to fulfill the needs of a season. So let's get started and take a look at each and every one of the sports and the budgets selected. For baseball, we budgeted or had expenditures of $4,745. This equipment is basically what a coach and a team would need on an everyday basis to practice and get ready to compete in games and competitions. Boys track. Track is really one of your less expensive sports where your expenditures aren't as high, so therefore your costs are able to be kept at a minimum. And these items here are items that are needed for the everyday, day in and day out practice sessions to help the coaches prepare those athletes for their track meets. Boys basketball, I went ahead this year since we had the money in the budget, and I got them practice jerseys and new uniforms as well. That total cost and total expenditures will go down a lot in the next few years for the simple fact that we will not have to buy any more practice jerseys or uniforms for at least 3 to 5 years, as those items should last you that long. Girls basketball, almost identical and the same thing. We went ahead and bought them practice gear as well as their travel sweatsuits, their travel bags, and their backpacks. And those costs will go down as well, just because those items should last the basketball program 3 to 5 years. So that expenditure there will go down quite a bit as well in the next few years. Softball, much like baseball, the items that are on here and are presented help in the everyday operation of running a softball program, as well as maintaining a playing field and a playing surface. So we really got down to the bare necessities of softball, and we could look in future years to see if we could help them out, on the side of uniforms, travel bags, and things like that as well. But for this year, we really cut the fat and just got the basics. Football should always be your most expensive sport, just because of the numbers that you have involved. And what I would like to do while there's money in the budget is to start a replacement rotation. As you can see there with the shoulder pads, I want to start buying about 5 to 7 replacement shoulder pads a year, especially while we can afford that, and keep that rotating in so our shoulder pads are always up to date. I went ahead and bought a 1-year huddle membership. This is something that saves the coaches a lot of time and a lot of trouble, especially when trying to trade film. So now opposing coaches and other schools can get on huddle, and we can trade that way, and it is a very convenient subscription to huddle. The Schutt helmets, obviously helmets are on a rotation basis, and helmets are rotated out ever so many years. So we're going to start buying 6 new helmets each year and reconditioning 20 helmets each year, especially, as they need it on a yearly basis. And like I said, they're rotated out. I want to go to the McDavid 5-pad girdles. That way the football coaches don't have to have, thigh pads, hip pads, all those pads that are individually purchased. Now we can just go to a 5-pad girdle and get everybody outfitted, and they can turn those in every year as well. We're going to start getting 10 sets of practice gear a year. I think this is a good purchase and keeps the practice gear in good shape. Replacement travel bags, I'm going to purchase them 5 travel bags a year, and we can keep those rotated on a yearly basis and keep all the travel bags in good shape and in working order. So when you look at the total expenditures of what we spent on the 6 sport programs and we had $36,000 in our budget. The final or total expenditures were $29,090.36, and this left us $6,900 in the budget that we can use for last minute or unexpected purchases throughout the athletic seasons or the school year. I didn't want to totally wipe out the $36,000 budget. I wanted to, have a little cushion built in there because you never know, what can possibly come up throughout the school year. Why did I select the equipment and items that I did? Well, I looked at each program and the individual needs and what the coaches requested. And like I said, some of the items were definitely needed and are needed on a everyday usage and to help prepare our athletes for competition. Why were certain items or equipment cut? I just didn't feel at this time that some of those were necessary to prepare a team every day in practice or to necessarily get them ready for competition. Some of the items and equipment that weren't funded, I really felt like they could be purchased through external resources like fundraisers, donations, Booster Club, and we can, down the road, we could even look at funding some of these requests through other budget lines. So at this time, that's our total expenditures, and that's why I chose the equipment that I did buy and the items that I purchased versus the ones that I didn't. I appreciate your time. Thank you.